So when you look at, mentors in your life, you've done so many different things. You're involved in a lot of different things that you're passionate about. Who are people you saw that are super passionate about either these things or others that inspired you to think the way you do? You mentioned Chuck Norris earlier on, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's a friend of mine. He goes out to a ranch in Montana with a good buddy of mine, and they spend time together. I heard nothing but amazing things about Chuck Norris, what a quality guy he is. But
I haven't talked to him in forever. I'd love to reconnect with him. That's great. Yeah.
Who are other people in your life that kind of inspired you to think differently or be who you are today?
I would say it sounds, I'll tell you, I have a list of about 10, but my parents were fantastic, in encouraging me that you can do whatever you put your mind to. I've had pastors that give you things, everything from a saying that Henry Ford says, well, you think you can or you think you can't. In both cases, you're right. Yeah. And where Jesus Christ says, a man thinks in his heart, so is he. And I think that learning from pastors, learning from family members, and I kind of view life as a buffet where I've had people tell me, you can't do this, or you're not going to make it, or you don't have that ability. And, I would like to say it hurts my feelings, but it kind of jacks me up. I'm like, can you tell me that again? I love that stuff. You're going down. I'm like, yes, let's get going. I'm like energized, right? So, that kind of it, and just, finding, and then, and seeing, I love to hear the underdog stories, like the Olympics where these wounded, veterans are competing. I just love the heart of what these guys do. So, I don't know of anybody I haven't learned something from and spent time with, whether it's even something that you can even learn the antithesis of what they are. If it's like, they're doing things I would learn, maybe I don't want to do that, or maybe to do this, but people, I listened to Napoleon Hill and Books on Tape. I've listened to Zig Ziglar substantially. I've listened to Anthony Robbins. I've listened to Robert Kiyosaki. I've read maybe a book or two a month for the last 30 years, on my subject or on goals. And what I try to look at is where do I struggle? At first I wasn't a very good manager of people or a very good delegator. I had to do everything myself, and certainly can grow in that area substantially still. But, try to learn about how to do that. And now with YouTube, you can almost search, not that everything on there is a fantastic solution, but there's books on tapes, there's Audible. So just about anything you want to learn, you can learn. You can read reviews and say, how do I find a mentor if I don't have one? And then I would just find people, whether it's at my companies at Merrill Lynch or people that I know, most people, if you ask them and you're polite to tell you what they know or how they did it, we'll tell you. I found exceptions, but it's really rare that people won't tell you. How did you grow your pest control business, or how did you grow this, or how did you do that?
What I always found too, Erik, is when they don't want to share with you, it's probably because there's nothing to share, right? There's a facade maybe of success, but the success maybe didn't come from them, right?
Exactly. And like and just about every day I start, the good days, I start where, trying to be thoughtful, think and plan, but, you have obstacles, and I'll write, like, my goal for me is like, what's my biggest problem today? And, some days you have, how do I narrow it down to one, right? I've got so many, but pick one and then think of ways to solve it and write it down, and don't go on and prioritize your action steps based on your answers, and then take action right away. And oftentimes that's so ridiculously effective that for me anyway, I forget to do it sometimes because this really works well. And I know that some of the largest relationships I've opened over the years where if I could call anyone in the world, meet anybody to help me with this project, what would I do? And I'd come up with some names, and then I'll try to get to them. And, sometimes it works. I'm just talked to this person in London who I've heard of for 35, 40 years, and they're going to cover a Forbes magazine, and they took my phone call. Wow, that wouldn't have happened if I didn't do that. And it's not that I'm anything, why would they take my phone? I'm not nothing special. It's just, people are people. If you're kind and respectful, they're oftentimes very easy to approach.